Hello, kitties. I am here. And you can always tell when Miss Annette is going to be late because her hair looks like witchy poo hair. Well, you can't tell when I'm going to be late. You can always tell what I'm going to look like when I am late. Holy moly. That and no makeup, yikes. Sometimes it's scary. But did you ever have to get up late? Did you ever have to get up late? And I told you, I know I was gone on Tuesday, late on Thursday. Yesterday was a pretty good day. But I had to sleep in because it was a lot of stress for me. Do you ever feel like you have to sleep in? Do you ever feel like you have to do that and then you do sleep in? Right? How do you feel? I don't know. Depends on how late I sleep when I sleep in, right? I was still up. I was awake. I just couldn't get out of bed. I just couldn't get out of bed. I was so tired. Anyway, let's get started. And so, if you remember yesterday, what I said was, I didn't know if I was going to read our next story. I don't even know. Oh, here it is. I do have the book. So I said I didn't know if I was going to read our next story, right? In our Tales of Virtue, a book of right and wrong, right? And do you remember what our next story was going to be about? Say it. Does anyone remember? Okay, don't forget, I come with questions. I can't hear if you're answering, but I always come with questions. Work. That's what we're going to talk about, work. And what happens? Miss Annette is late for work. What? This is not a good day to talk about that virtue, which is why we're not going to talk about that virtue. Okay. So instead, what we are going to talk about is we are going to talk about our consonant blends, all right? And so for un momento, that's Spanish for one moment. I could say, un momento, por favor. One moment, please. Un momento, por favor. I bet you didn't know you were going to Spanish here too. Where's our consonant blends? I don't even know. Which is true, because I have to find them for a moment. But look at what I do have. Miracles of all miracles. This is not going to be a good day. No, that's not true. It's actually a very good day because I'm starting it with joy. So that's a very good day. Yep. And I had a very good Tuesday. And I had a very good Wednesday. So I believe, based on the evidence so far, I'm going to have a very good Thursday as well. You know why? Because I got to sleep in a little bit. Okay. Not really. I was actually not sleeping in. I was actually just lazy. Do you ever feel that way? Did you ever feel like being lazy? And you know what? That's kind of nice when we work from home, isn't it? Sometimes we could be lazy, right? And it's also nice when I only have 7 people here because I could be lazy then too. There's only like 7 people who come, so that's awesome. Okay, so I said let's get to our consonant blends. I got to make a transfer, so you're going to see the magic of cameras. Hold on, as if I have. Hold on, cameraman. Let's go. Camera 9, please. You thought I was kidding, didn't you? I was not kidding. Okay. And look at this. What? How could she be that organized this early in the morning? I don't even know. Is that my first one? No, it's not. There we go. That's my first one. And we have St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day was, it's past, but it doesn't matter because it wasn't even that long ago, right? And you know what? I'm almost certain I have a consonant blends for Easter, and I've got the St. Patrick's Day up. What? I don't even know. Okay. Who cares? We're going to learn just a little bit about consonant blends. And I don't know how long we're going to be here. Maybe till 9, so maybe a little bit longer, but maybe not. We'll see. We're just going to chill. Today's the chill day. because we've worked hard. I've worked hard all week. I worked really hard all week so far. So today's we're going to be a little bit more relaxed. I am. Hopefully you are. Maybe not. Maybe you're like, oh, where's my consonant blends? Okay. So remember when we are looking at blends and the old-fashioned way is we call them blends, all right? That we call them blends. What we found out is sometimes when we're teaching things, we can teach things in very confusing ways. When the old way we used to teach it, like reading books, right? And consonant blends and phonics was a really good way to learn, all right? So we go with the old-fashioned way. In the old-fashioned way, old-fashioned, if you know what old-fashioned means like I picture myself, Little House on the Prairie, like the olden days, right? The old days. I wasn't born with Little House on the Prairie in those days. So even before my days, and if you come to the Bookless classroom, you'll hear stories on the olden days because we're talking about American history in our Bookless classroom. But right now, we're talking about consonant blends, and we're already behind the 8 ball. Behind the 8 ball is a term we use in pool. Not now. Consonant blends. The idea of consonant blends is that we blend 2 letters together, 2 consonants in this case, right? 2 consonants, not vowels. We know what our vowels are, right? Go back to some of my earlier episodes that I had on Wednesday, a week ago, right? So we'll talk, because we talk about vowels usually and consonants usually on Wednesdays. We missed Tuesday, as you all know, as the millions of you watching know already. So, as we said, when we are learning how to read, right? When we're learning how to read a word, what did we do? I'm going to go to those. There we go. Okay. I think I've got my short ones over here. No, I don't. It doesn't matter. We're going to use this one. Maybe not. There we go. This is the one I want. Yay! Okay. So, did you see that map? That map is from our Bookless classroom. That's what we're studying. From the olden days, what America looked like in the olden days. That's what that map was. If you want to come and see my Bookless classroom, we're going to have we're going to be reading a story in our Bookless classroom because if you were sad you didn't get the story today. In our Bookless classroom, we're going to finish the story of Lewis and Clark expedition. So we're talking about where America, like when America looked like that, olden days. All right, but here we are putting sounds together, right? I'm going to go back a little bit. There we go. Let's use this one. We haven't used the O sound often, right? So this is a short O. We know it's a short O because we know when what? When 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, right? That's what we know. When 2 vowels, and we don't have 2 vowels here. So they must be short vowels. Long vowels say what? Long vowels say what? Long vowels say their own name, right? So A said, when we hear A in a word, we know it's A. We know how to spell it with an A, right? A, what? E, I, O, U, right? But we're not talking about long vowels here because that's a short vowel, not a long vowel. So it's not saying its own name, right? So as a short vowel, it says what? What? A, I, There's ah right there. Ah and Let's do that again. A, I, right? Okay, and then what did we say? We said we blend those sounds together. It is not, I'm going to go to word number 2. Word number 2. It's not up, right? It's not up, 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 up. No. And I could say it really fast and it's still not that. Up, up. No, it's not that word. It's mop. The word is mop, right? So it's very, very good to learn how each letter sounds. M, O, short O, right? And then P, up. But we still have to blend those together because the word is mop, not mop. Close, but it's still not mop. It's mop. And that's really good when you say it really fast because then you begin to hear the word. Let's go to the last word there and try it with the last word. We know the O sound says what? It's a short O. We know the O sound says what? Ah. Ah. We're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead. Ah, right? Okay. And then we have 2 consonants at the beginning of that last word there. S and H. So that is a consonant blend. When we have 2 or more consonants together, that is a consonant blend. Okay? So we know the last sound is a P, right? And we know what P says because we just did mop. So we know P says P, P, P. So OP says what? Op. And we don't even have to work to blend that together. We go op. But that's easy to blend together. Op, right? So that's easy blending. We are blending there. What we're doing is blending, but that's easy to do. That's right, blending together. Now let's go to the S and the H. When we have 2 consonants together, we call that a consonant blend. It makes actually a new sound. So S would be S and H would be S, S. But that's not what that sound is. That sound is a little different. It's not S, it's sh, sh, right? Shh. I think I did that yesterday in this class. Shh, right? And then we have sh, op. What is that word? Sh, op, sh, op, sh. See, and I have to do something a little magical in order to blend that together, in order to know what that word is, right? Sh, op, sh, op. What is that word? Sh, op. What is that word? What is that word? Shop, shop. So whenever we're blending, we really are taking each letter and making a new sound. That's what consonant blends are. It's very close to the sound I would have when they are separated, right? When I have S, S, and H, and I have a blend, it's very close to that sound, but it's still different. All right. So that's the reason why we talk about consonant blends, because we have to know their sounds. We have to understand their sounds, the sounds of the blends. Okay, let's go back to, I'm there. There we go. So we have our St. Patrick blends, and then, next week we'll have our Easter blends, and that will be late as well. Okay, so here's the idea with what you do with this worksheet. Now that we've learned about what they are, what we do with this worksheet is we look at the picture there, and what is the picture? Clover. The first one is a clover. The second one is grass. The third one is tree. The fourth one, I couldn't see what that was. The fourth one is snake. And the fifth one there is frog. Frog. Okay? So the idea here is for you to take that worksheet and then draw a picture, or you can tell somebody if you don't, remember what I said, you can get those from me if you email me, all right? And my email address is here somewhere. But we'll get it. If your parents are there, my email address is Dr.Feravich, F as in Frank, E-R-A, V as in Victor, I-C-H, and at healthymindbodyspirit.net. I'm going to try and get that up here and see if I can't. And actually, I know I'm going to be able to get that up here in just a second. There we go. Now you won't see me for a minute. So there's my email address coming there for those of you. Oh, now watch this. Watch this. I'll still have it scrolling. How about that? Look at that. Technology does not escape Dr. Feravich or Miss Annette either. Okay. All right. So we have our consonant blends there. There's my email address if you want those. But you can also get them in LinkedIn. I have them in LinkedIn there, and you can see. I think you can download those as a PDF. I'm pretty sure. So look at my LinkedIn page as well. All right. So that will help you a little bit. All right. So consonant blends. So you are taking a look at each one of those blends. And the first one is SN. So S says S, N says N, right? Sn, sn, sn. I bet you already have that. I bet you already have it in your mind what that is. Sn, right? And do you see sometimes when you do a consonant blend, sometimes it's very easy to hear the sounds, right? When you sound out each letter, it's not so hard to do the blending, to blend those together. Sn, sn, right? Sn. Yeah, that is basically blended together when I sound out the S and the N one after the other. Sn, right? Sn. So we have that sound. Got it? Got it in your mind? And then draw a line if you want to, or tell somebody that sounds like this picture, this word, right? We have a picture. We don't have the words there, but a word describes it, right? Each one of those pictures: clover, grass, tree, snake, frog. All right? Okay, the next one. C, and this is a this is a hard... I had to think for a minute. Sometimes if I'm talking, sometimes it's hard for me to think about something. This is a hard C. This is a hard C. And that S was a soft S. Do you remember what those sounds are? Do you remember what a soft S sounds like? Just like that one. S, right? S. And a hard S sounds like a Z. Z, z, right? Okay? Like the sound in phase. Phase. It's just a phase you're going through. Phase. That Z sound there, that's actually an S right there. Okay? All right. So that in SN is a soft S. In the CL, that's a hard C. A hard C. Do you remember what a hard C sounds like? Hard C sounds like a K, right? A K. K, k, k. Okay? A soft C sounds like a what? Soft C sounds like a S. A soft C sounds like an S. All right? But that's a hard C. A hard C and an L, right? So we have k, k, and O, k, O, k, O, k, O, k, O, k, O. Now, see, that one takes more blending, doesn't it? That one takes more blending. You have to make those actually sound just a little bit different than if I say each one of them really fast, right? Ka-ol, ka-ol, ka-ol. It's kol, kol. See, there's a blending together of those two sounds. Kol, kol. All right, it's not ka-ol, it's kol. All right? Pretty easy though, don't you think? I think it's pretty easy to hear them, even when I sound each one of them out. Even if you're not very good at blending, I think it's easy for you to hear those sounds, don't you think? Okay, the next one. T-R. No, F-R. I'm sorry. F-R. F-R. F says f, and R says r. Fur. 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 That's a whole different word. It sounds like I'm saying fur, doesn't it? That's not the consonant blend. The consonant blend is fra, 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 fra. That's the consonant blend. Fra, not fur. Okay? Fra, fra. Okay, I bet you already know. Let's go to the next one. T-R. T-er, 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 t-er. See, but the consonant blend is tr, tr, tr. Sounds a little different than if I say each one of those letters really fast. Tr. Have somebody help you with that. I know what they sound like because I know the word and I use the beginning sound of the word, but maybe you already know the word too. So then you know the consonant blend. And remember, you don't have to know every single consonant blend and sound together. If you already know what the word is, that's great. You only have to learn consonant blends and understand consonant blends to help you read. If you already know how to read that word, then you don't have to understand all the details of consonant blends. The only other person who has to know the details of consonant blends are teachers, right? You only have to understand consonant blends so that you can read. That's it. That's it. If you already know what those words begin with, right? You have to, in order for you to read, you have to spell. You have to spell, all right? So this is spelling as well. It's learning how to spell, okay? We're not quite there yet because I didn't ask you to spell, for example, frog, right? We're not learning how to spell frog. We're learning the sounds, all right? But if you already understand consonant blends enough to read the word or do this project, you don't have to understand all the details of what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to understand all the details, okay? All right. Here we've got also different consonant blends and a different way of understanding or looking at these consonant blends. Now for this one, you have to decide what is the right consonant blend for that picture. So this one shouldn't be too hard either, right? I don't think this one should be too hard. I'll tell you what the pictures are, okay? So there are grapes there, right? And then you have a consonant blend of PL, and I want you to try and put those together. I could help you right now sound those out, but I want you to try, okay? So we have a consonant blend. Those are two consonants together, PL, two consonants, GR, GL, or PR, right? Those are your letters there. So we have we have a picture of grapes, and what you want to do is circle the consonant blend that grapes begin with. What is the consonant blend that grapes begin with? What are the two consonants that the word grapes begin with? And then circle that. Or tell somebody, right? Or tell somebody. Okay, now I'm going to tell you the pictures. The next picture is bread. That's a slice of bread. Bread. Okay. So, does it begin with the consonant blend BL, CL, BR, or ST? Bread. Truck. The next picture is truck. What are the two consonants, the consonant blend that truck begins with? Did you get it? Did you get it? Tell somebody that you know. You can tell me too. I can't hear you though. The next picture is flower. 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 I bet that's easy. I bet these are kind of easy for you, aren't they? And the last one there is star. Star. What is the consonant blend that star begins with? Okay. And we are learning, aren't we? I don't know. I don't think I put it up the Easter one. I didn't put up the Easter one. And I have thanks to all the people who gave me, or that I got all of these worksheets online. So down below in my explanation, I've got those worksheets listed there where I got them from. So this is classroommusthaves.com, education.com, and A to Z teacher something. Okay, but they're all listed down there. If you want more, you can sign up and you can get more of those as well if you need more practice. All right, so here we've got the consonant blend. And I don't know what that first picture is. What is that first picture? Does anyone know? Looks like a blob to me. It could be a blob. Who even knows? So circle the picture that matches the blend. I don't know what that first picture is. I don't know. I wonder if I would know if I blew it up. Hold on just a minute. Let me blow that picture up. Yeah, you know what I think? I think that there's more than one, is what I think. It could be. That looks like a blob to me. Then the next one is brush. And the third picture is blow. Then we have bird. We have brain, and we have bread, okay? The next one, we have crown, we have cloud, and we have clock, all right? Those are the pictures. The next picture, we have crayon, clover, and crab. And the last one, we have a dinosaur, drum, and a drink. That's what those are. So actually, the way that I see it is there are two pictures that match the consonant blend, and one picture in each one of those that does not. And it's a little tricky sometimes. I see that's a little tricky sometimes, all right? So you have to know what the pictures are, right? And the very first picture is a blob. That's what that is. It's a blob, okay? Or a blot. It could be like a blot as well. It could be an ink blot. That's what that is an ink blot. Hello, it's a blot, not a blob. Looks like a blob though too. A black ink blob. I would call it a blob. Apparently I just did. Okay, now we have more. The same idea here. The same idea where we know what the picture is. There, it looks like there are two pictures that match the consonant blend and one that does not. Let's go through them. Let's go through the pictures. Fly, frog, fries. Fly, frog, fries. Flame, fruit, flag. Flame, fruit, flag. Glue, glasses, grass. Glue, glasses, grass. all have consonant blends. Got to pick the right one, right? Okay. Gloves, green, grapes. Gloves, green, grapes. Plain, present, plant. Plain, present, plant. Okay, there we go. Now, and again, we have more. They gave us so many to practice with. I'm so happy. Pretzel, plug, printer. Pretzel, plug, printer. Slippers, spider, sleep. Slippers, spider, sleep. What's that first picture there? Looks like a dessert to me. I don't know what that first picture is. The second one is smell, and the third one is smile. But that first picture is what? Spaghetti. That's what that first picture is. Spaghetti. Did you get it before I did? Spaghetti, smell, smile. Spaghetti, smell, smile. Spoon, sled, what is that? Circle the picture that matches the blend. What is that? Sponge. That's what that is. It's a sponge. Was somebody else yelling that? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think the kiddies out in TV land were yelling, Miss Annette, that's a sponge. But maybe you were. Maybe you did know that was a sponge. You can put that in the comments. Let me know if you knew that was green thing, that green blob over there was a sponge. I don't think so. Next picture, trumpet, train, and tent. Trumpet, train, tent. Okay, let's see what else we have. And now we've got match the blend. So these are the blends here. FL, full, FR, fur, SN, sn, TR, tr, and more blends, okay? And then the pictures, all right? So the first two were the blends, and you match those blends with these pictures. Flower, frog, we've seen these before. Snake, tree, apparently consonant blends, all the same pictures come up. Grass, cloud, slide. That looks like a drink, right? That looks like a drink. Swing, we haven't seen that one before. Swing, and what's the last one? Blow? Yeah, it looks like she's blowing bubbles. Let's do an up close look. Yes, that's what she's doing. Blowing bubbles. Okay. So that's it for today, folks. We will come back, and the story that we are going to read is going to be a story on work. And we will be back here on Tuesday at 8 a.m. Even if I'm, I shouldn't be a little late. Looks like things might, cross your fingers. Calm down. Cross your fingers for me, please. Okay, this is Miss Annette. I am the teacher, and this is the classroom. Thanks if you joined me.